I guess so. I mean, I'm gonna put this in CapCut, edit it if I have to. Hopefully, we can just run right through it.
Smidgen, there we go.
I might as well just grab the plug.
You look huge.
I might as well
compared
just.
to me.
It's the hat or something. Beautiful hair. I guess I should have just grabbed the love seat handies. Just sit close.
This will be alright. This will be alright. We'll knock it out.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
What's up, guys? Justin Napier here. This one is totally different. Man, I fucked that up.
How? You just started. It's your name. Wow. You sound like
I got the.
It's alright. My 3-minute video took me 45 minutes of recording, so you're good.
What's up, guys? Justin Napier here with another old Ironslides interview. This one's gonna be a little different. Fuck, I don't know how to say your last name.
Alfano.
Alfano.
J.J Alfano.
I always said Alfredo sauce.
Not the first time I heard that.
Alfano.
Alfano.
I'm keeping this too. All right, what's up, guys? Got another one of the old Ironslides interviews. The Summit Point event is coming up here soon in 2 weeks. Well, I have got the man, the myth, the legend, the Trans Am driver, Mr. J.J Alfano.
You said it right. That's good. That's real good.
Anyways, so we are actually recording this from National Super Speedway at the Slush. JJ decided to come up and visit my home track, which is really different. There's still race cars being loaded up.
This reminds me of Aaron Losey's videos. There's always a disruption.
Anyways.
You just cut it. You can just... honestly, people like it.
Alright, guys, so we're live.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious. This is take 10.
This is the only time that we'll probably do a live interview at a racetrack where it's not really known for being quiet. Anyways, so JJ, you are allowed to state once again at NSS. How do you feel about the track, man?
I actually really enjoyed it. I was a little upset that we weren't going going to the left on the first turn.
Yeah, sweeper.
The super fast turn. I was a little bummed on that, but it played for itself. I mean, it was super great. The tire wear was phenomenal. I ran the same, effectively the same pair of tires all day, which is usually unheard of for me. So, yeah, it was super fun. Got to give a lot of people ride-alongs, which I'm starting to become more and more comfortable with, because before the car was always braking, so I was kind of not wanting to give people ride-alongs, and I was like, screw it, let's go for it. And it's been super rewarding to drive.
Yeah, this is definitely an awesome home track. Normally, we actually get the NASCAR garages here, and I could probably go on and on about how great National Super Speedway is. So very lucky to be driving here all the time. So your home track is probably more of Lanier.
Yeah, I mean, if we're talking like one that I go to the most, definitely Lanier. That's my second home at this point. I got really lucky. It's only about an hour away from my house in North Atlanta, and yeah, it's just super great. I mean, just to go virtually every Friday, you have the opportunity to go drive for like 5 or 6 hours. So that's really cool. And yeah, and the track is great. It's fresh asphalt and everything like that. And every time. But yeah, so it's just super fun. People go there to go test. Like RTR now test their cars.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
So it's super sick, and of course we have local folks like T-Pain and stuff like that that are getting into drifting, or they're not even getting into it anymore. They're in it. And Herb moved here or there. So yeah, no, I'm really fortunate to have Lanier in my backyard. I think it's becoming a world-class drift facility very quickly.
It is, definitely. I definitely enjoy going there. The tire wear is menacing, but it is worth every lap. So are you, so did you grow up in Atlanta, or where are you from?
Yeah, so I was technically born in New York, but I moved to Georgia with my parents when I was a baby. So I'm basically just a Georgia boy with a funny last name. Is how I kind of approach things.
Yeah. We're not going to talk about how I avoid your last name.
I avoid yours too. I'm like, Napier. Is it French? I don't know.
At least we're on the same playing field there. This is going to be probably one of the funniest interviews that we do yet. But so man, the Trans Am, it's not your first drift car, right?
No, I've had 20 probably.
Oh, wow. So where did it all start? Like what got you into drifting?
So I've said this story before, but I'm sure no one even remembers. But I was a big video game nerd growing up, and I watched like G4 Tech TV, and they had the original Formula D on it.
Oh wow! Yeah,
So I was, puberty age, Fast and Furious was getting cool, and then I saw drifting, and I was a skateboarder. If you can't tell by me wearing all black and Vans still, I'm a skateboarder to get a corporate job, and so I was already kind of like gamer, skateboarder. I was already kind of looking for a little bit of flair. My favorite thing about skating was like you had style to your tricks, you had style to your clothes. Like it was just cool to just rip open the CCS catalog and just figure out how you're gonna look for the next 4 years of high school. And so right around that time, I was just getting into the cars too. And drifting just seems a good hybrid of personal style and cool motorsports, like X Games version of motorsports.
Yeah, and I heard you say you got into drifting in 2007. So like, what was like their? So the man, I went way off here. So the show got you. Yeah,
yeah. So that got me involved. Actually, Ryan Turk was driving like it was a blue S13 with an S15 front, and I thought all S13s had the S15 front.
Oh, okay.
And I remember like the sunroof popped up and everything, and I was like, that's my first car. I want that. Or an 86 Corolla. Because of Need for Speed Underground 2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it gaslit me into thinking the AE86s were cool, which they are in their own right. I got the chance to own one for about 9 months, but they're just so slow. But I digress. So it's just a combination, just, coming of age story, really, of just cool cars and different lifestyle that just kind of just merged. I think a lot of people, especially old timers, I'm an old timer now, but like BMX, skateboarding, that kind of thing, there's a lot of skinny jeans and Vans in drifting, especially with the old heads.
Yeah, ironically, I'm also wearing all black with
This is just regular track.
Yeah, it really is. I get so many people say, can you sell a t-shirt that's not black? And I'm like, that's hard in drifting.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we're gonna jump over the Trans Am. Where did you find it, and what made you go, I'm gonna turn this into a drift car?
So the guy who helped me build it also, I was drunk at my birthday party, my 30th birthday. Okay. And my really good friend Taylor Hull is a pro driver. This guy drives a Corvette. He had a Cadillac. He also has a 74 Plymouth Duster. He calls Stonewall. Yeah. And it's had a bunch of motors in it and stuff like that, but he built it with like S13 suspension and all this other stuff. So it was technically a pro touring car. And I'd always loved muscle cars, but I didn't know anything about fabrication. So I always stayed away from them because, with 240 or a Z, it's bolt-on. It's a cookie cutter car, which is good in its own right, but at the same time, it gets boring. Yeah. So I was like, I love your car. Oh, before I forget, I went to an event in my 350Z, all riced out, to Alabama, and he brought Stonewall. Okay. And there was a line of people. And Taylor, at this time in his life, was kind of a little bit more shy. And so I like dressed up in like a cutoff T-shirt that said Freebird on it. And I was just like going full force, like I'm in Alabama, I'm gonna play the part. And everyone started coming up to me as if I drove the Plymouth. And I started signing autographs, and I'm like, and he's like, yeah, go for it. I don't want to deal with it. So I just started driving, I started signing my name. People would never see me again. But it was just so funny, and I was like, I need to get me one. Yeah. Fast forward a couple years later, I'm at my birthday party, and I'm like, dude, I kind of want to build a Trans Am. I was like, my other friend's dad has a 78 SE, just black and gold. And I was like, I love those cars. I'd love to build one for drifting, but I don't know the first thing. And he's just like, gets on his phone. He goes, there's one in Mississippi. Let's go next week. And I was like, what?
It's always the impulse buys. It's just like, hey, here it is.
Oh, he's the king of impulse buys. And it usually works out for him. That man's a hustler. But, so, yeah, we're literally in the truck heading to Mississippi to go look at this T-Tops Trans Am or Firebird. And we get there, and they said no rust, and it had a fuel cell and all those parts. The fuel cell was this big, just thrown in the back, and you could see through the passenger floor. And we're like, no rust. We're like, what is this? He's like, well, there's no rust around the giant hole. I'm like, oh my God. So we had to turn back and do that. But that just shows he was just really super down to just like take the project on for himself. It was my car, but his project. So it was super sick.
Well, we have a couple guests.
We have some visitors.
Yeah, we have some visitors. Looks like we have Jake Elliott behind me, and we have Gavin Theet. Let's suck at your last name too. There's a whole blooper here, just us literally making fun of each other's last names. Yeah.
Well, you got Justin with the Monte Carlo, and then you got JJ with the Trans Am.
Yeah.
You don't even need last names.
Exactly.
Everybody keeps pointing that way because the Trans Am.
There it is.
Hey, that was actually a cool shot.
It almost,
Yeah.
You can see where my Corvette already
center it
destroyed my.
There you go.
I gotta put that. Well, if I don't talk about it, maybe no one will notice.
No one will know.
He's like, wait a minute.
I already
I
messed
take
up.
back what I just said.
I've had my trailer for 2 months, and it looks like this already.
Ah,
Sweet trailer.
got him.
Stupid Corvettes. Never buy one. Never, ever. I don't care. If you drift a Corvette, you're an asshole. Put that on the internet. I'm saying it. I'll go to war.
This is gonna be edited.
I own a Corvette, so for the record, I'm speaking for myself too.
Yeah, you heading out?
Yeah.
Yeah. Doing this interview for the old Ironslides thing.
No,
I'm sure you've seen it a couple times now.
Thanks.
Yeah.
You want to be at IA?
No, be in West Virginia with him. We're doing a muscle car thing.
Okay.
We're getting we got like 7 or 8 muscle cars getting together.
Nice.
Taylor bringing the Corvette Carlo?
No, we bugged the hell out of him and he said no. He's got to do something else.
Irwindale is the weekend after, I think.
Oh, or no, you're going to Fuel Fest, though, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm going to Field Fest next week.
I'll
Are you
see
gonna be
you
there?
there.
Oh, okay, cool. All 3 of us will be there.
Sweet. Maybe I'll have the comp car out if it stops being finicky.
The one with the Coyote, yeah.
It's being very temperamental.
All right. I'll see you later, dude.
See you, man.
See you. Well, that was a detour.
So, are they? Do you think that's picking them up?
Huh?
Do you think it's picking up the kids' voices?
Maybe, I don't know. It's alright.
We'll just roll with it.
I'm good with background music over this thing anyways,
Okay.
because that's what I always do, and everybody's like,
Okay.
it sounds kind of sucky, but... Crap, where were we at? Anyways, shoot. I don't
Oh,
even know.
I was saying Taylor before we.
Oh,
got-
yeah, the Stonewall.
Yeah. So that
Mhm.
circling back, all the distractions is not good for my ADHD, but yeah. So he's just super down, and he's been down. I think that car was there for 18 months in his garage, and I
Okay.
drive over an hour to his house 3 times a week. This is right when COVID
Yeah.
hit.
So you just got the Trans Am, and now you took it to this guy's shop
Yeah.
to be fabricated into a drift car. So that was
Yeah.
that was the plan from the start, the drift car.
Yep.
Okay,
100%.
cool. Mhm.
Yep. Yep. It was going to be a multi-use car, but it turned into this. It doesn't really go. It doesn't take turns well. It drifts and that's it. So I'm happy with it. I have the Corvette for the road course stuff. It was a pipe dream, anyways. It was just what if.
So where as a guy who runs a boom tube, where did the boom tube idea come from?
So myself, Taylor, and a couple other guys went in on an old oval track shop,
Oh, okay.
and we just kind of just picked it clean of all the good stuff. So like, I have a cup car radiator. My first winter's quick change was from that. The boom tube was from that. Actually, the boom tube was an afterthought. I threw it on because I wanted exhaust, and I was like, this is just sitting in the back of the shop rusting away. Like, let's just throw it on real quick. I'll just pay $40 at Summit and get some down tubes or whatever, like 3-inch tubes, and we'll just quickly weld it. And people loved it, so I decided to keep it.
People love the boom tube.
Yeah,
it's
it's
so
super
cool. It is really cool.
Yeah.
A little excessive sometimes, but so cool.
Yeah, I always forget to put in earplugs because it's like it's not bad for the first 20 laps, but like laps 20 through 60, you're like, I actually hate this.
Yeah.
I'm so over this.
Yeah.
I'm
I
getting
think
old.
my right ear's actually a little
Oh
more
yeah,
deaf
I
than
have
my left.
tinnitus in my right ear prior to racing, and like now, like car stuff has just destroyed it. It sucks, but
Golly.
yeah, the boom tube is super sick. Winter's quick change, all that stuff, all the AM
Sure.
fittings.
Yeah. This guy's just like casually has a dog box. Like I'm over here with my TKX. Love my TKX, by the way. Great transmission. But you put in gear and you don't hear nothing. He's over here, cuckoo.
Yeah, I kind of
It's super sick.
I take it out of gear, put it back in gear. It's still, I get all giddy with it. And it
Oh,
really,
my
if
goodness.
people aren't familiar with the dog box, it really scares them. They're like, is your shit broken? Like,
Yeah.
no, this is better than broken. This is the
best.
cream of the crop. So yeah, I got that actually during COVID too. Some guy had it for I think $1,800 in Lawrenceville, and I woke up, booked it, went to the shop, hung out, got brakes and a transmission, and it just came right back.
So is that the G010?
So it's the Tex Racing version, but it's the later model Tex, right before G-Force bottom. And so it's got the handcuff and it has the oil pump. So it's effectively the G-Force G101A prior to G-Force
But
buying them.
the shift linkages are on the side.
Yep, yeah, it's a
Okay.
side shift.
Side shift.
Yeah. So you have the GSR, which is the center.
Yeah.
So I know this because I'm a nerd, but all the transmissions were like T10 versions, right? That they ran in NASCAR, and they're the side shift. And then the car of tomorrow, they moved the driver more towards the center, so the side shift wouldn't work anymore. So they went to the GSR,
Oh.
and that's why that is so common now. And now they're sequential, but that's why there was such a big shift. And so obviously for this car, it had a cutout for a T10, so I didn't have to worry about a whole lot.
Yeah.
It made sense. But for like modern cars with center transmissions, a GSR is superior. So, but yeah, so that's a little bit of dog box trivia for you.
That's cool. That's so engine wise, so it's pretty rowdy. I mean, how much horsepower do you think you're making?
I know I'm making 360 to the wheels,
Okay.
315 foot-pounds torque. It's just a 5.3 with a cam. Intake header exhaust, just because they're swap parts. But yeah, Comp hooked me up with that when I first started the build through Taylor, because he's sponsored by them, and they wanted to see some cool things happen. So they're like, okay, we'll give you a slight discount. So, which works out because I needed all that stuff anyways. So oil pump, camshaft. It's got an NSR drift cam, so it's really just a drop-in cam. No valve springs or anything like that. I spin it 6,900, I think, just to keep it modest. In a perfect world, I'd have a more rowdy cam and a bigger motor and spin it to 7,800. But honestly, like, I put this thing through its paces, and knock on wood, no motor work on this thing.
Yeah, another thing I really love about our cars, because both our cars are set up very, very similar in a lot of aspects, other than his is better, but he runs a 295 tire, right?
Yeah, again, shout out to Taylor for giving me some pro tire scrubs, and some new tires sometimes, but yeah, no, I run the big boys because that's all he had. I was running, I built the car off the 285 35 Achilles, and I was using his scrubs on those for years. It took me like 2 years to run out of them. Because I didn't really burn them up, and the car kept breaking because my old setup was a ladder bar that we came up with, and we don't know suspension. So I got lucky with my buddy Cody up in Cumming, Georgia. And he runs a shop called Victory Fab, and he built 3-link that kept me from breaking. So I've only successfully been driving this car for almost 2 years now. January will be 2 years.
Yeah. So I mean, is this your favorite drift car you've had so far?
Oh, without a doubt. I love my Nissan. It was really cool for the time. It was like metallic orange, had like the BN Sport kit, had the 326 wing, it had the D-Max hood. Like, I can still quote all those JDM parts. It was rowdy. And in fact, humble brag, there are still cars that are running that stuff today that people lose their shit over. I'm like, okay. Like,
I had it.
Yeah, I had it, which is, it's cool. It's cool. I'm very lucky to have access to those parts and stuff back in the day, and I definitely paid the money for it.
Yeah.
Most of it was knockoff, though, for the record. It was like the first edition of every knockoff. So that's probably why they're so readily available now. But back in the day, it was just really cool. But yeah, like, is it the best driving car I've ever had? No. Is it the most fun? I mean, you and I had a line of people today to come look at the car and come ride in the car.
Absolutely.
I could not get even girlfriends to get in the car back in the day.
Right.
And it was like crazy, like super cool. So it's really cool to drive something like this. And I use the phrase rewarding because it really is. Like, is it a pain in the ass? Yes. Does it cost a lot of money? Yes. But man, just I don't know. I guess maybe the attention I get, it makes it worth it. Which is a weird thing, but we're in drifting. Like, we're not in drifting to be humble. We're in drifting because we're like, I can do it better. Let me show you how. And that's kind of what we're doing.
Yeah, there's the biggest bummer I feel with these cars is there's such a limitation to them, though, as far as if you're trying to do the crazy crap I do, like going to Pro-Am and stuff like that. You're very, very limited. And but as far as like a marketability standpoint and just grassroots drifting, I see no disadvantage to running an old school car. Not that I'm advocating for it, and if you do decide to go down that route, talking to the viewers here, you can reach out to me and JJ. I know he sucks at answering the phone, but I'm pretty good.
I don't have a missing phone. I don't have a missing call, so
I never call. I never called.
I'm bad at answering FB Messenger.
That's what it was.
I don't have notifications on.
All right.
I'm too boomerish to figure out how to turn them back on.
Now I've got to edit this to make me look not like a jackass.
Nah, keep it.
I literally just like dip my head in. It's a trap. Dip back out.
All right, man.
Yeah.
Probably in the next 10 minutes or so, I'm probably gonna be leaving.
Okay.
So
we'll wrap in 10. It's 20 minutes already. So.
Yeah.
I didn't expect to walk back over here, and you guys still.
It's 30 minutes. It's 30-minute interviews.
This is the whole thing you're doing.
It's a podcast, pretty much.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
It's cool. I mean, it works really well for Aaron Losi. I mean, he's a bigger audience right now, but I mean, it's good to talk about.
I watched all of his Chelsea
Drift
videos
Week stuff.
Drift Week videos. Yeah.
It's
listening
good
to Chelsea was very interesting.
Yep.
Like hearing that perspective.
Yeah, for sure.
Anyway, I'll let you guys get back.
All right.
Yeah. Just give us a few minutes. We're almost wrapped up.
No problem.
Distractions. I've lost my train of thought.
We were talking about I was advocating
this is the best
for
car.
Yeah,
the blah blah blah.
Which isn't what this is about. It's supposed to be about your, Anyway, let's move on to Frame and Fright, man. So when I initially hit you up with it, I know your first thought because
I'm not driving that
far.
Nah, miss me with that.
Yeah.
You convinced me, and then part of it was me just being kind of reckless, and I was like, that would make me have a drift event every single weekend in October. Who would be dumb enough to do that? And I was
me
like,
and you.
Why not? Let's do it. And I'm like, so luckily it seems to be working out. Again, the tire wear today really got me excited because I was worried about running through my stash, but I've got 6 brand new tires. At this rate, this is the last one all year.
We're doing good. I think I ran maybe. Do you run the first week of November, or is Frame and Fright your last one?
That's probably it for the year.
Okay, so I ran 2 more, or potentially 2 more. I ran Chillicothe last weekend. Now I'm here this weekend on Fuel Fest. Me and you will be going to Fuel Fest next weekend.
5 or 6 weeks?
Yeah, straight. I'm like,
God bless. Yeah, I wanted to go. So Lanier has some really good events. Cosmic Drift, which is the same weekend.
I know. I hate that they overlapped each other because I really wanted to go to Cosmic Drift. And Import Alliance also in Beach Bend. So it's like, golly, some heavy hitters for that local to us and way more convenient. But, it kind of shows you our dedication to the sport, too.
And Drift Symphony, too, in November, too.
I'm going to that. Are you going to that?
No, I'll be out of the country. I'm actually doing some, with my other hobby, I'm going to Brazil. So.
We're not going to dive into that because you kind of gave me that look like my other hobby. It's been way off this direction here. Oh my gosh.
It's all right.
So you're sacrificing a lot for the 10-hour drive.
Yeah, I have. Luckily, I have some guys helping me out. We're gonna split the drive up, so it sucks less. But I've been to Summit Point before. I was helping Dustin Miles back when he was doing Pro-Am.
Wow.
So I've been there. I'm pretty sure. I think it's the same track. We'll find out. I'll either be like, oh, this is new, or no, I've been here. But yeah, super rad. I can't wait. Yeah, what really sold me on it was a cool idea conceptually. I just was like, oh no, like I just put a diff in that car. That was like $5,000, you know, and so that was a lot of money that I wasn't planning on spending. And I was trying to budget in for a new motor this year, and that just didn't work out. So I get real frugal towards the holidays. And
I feel that.
But you know what? I said, screw it. I think I can make it work, and we're gonna shoot for the moon on this one and hope it. And like, where are we at? Like 10, 15 confirmed cars so far? Like muscle cars?
As far as muscle cars, we have 7 confirmed.
Okay.
Ironically, four of them are actually local to the track, so those guys are kind of easy to get.
Okay.
Because they were probably going to be there anyways, but I'm not, by no means, very thankful for those guys.
Yeah.
And then we have me, you, and David Leffel, who are going about 10 hours.
Is that how you say his last name?
Leffel.
See, another last name that I have no idea
I
how to
swear it's
pronounce.
Leffel.
LaFell?
David, if you're watching this, turn it off.
I don't know. Everyone's French, apparently.
Yeah.
Everyone's last name is French.
And then
to me.
we were going to have Al. His last name's... gosh, I can't remember his last name. Anyways, he's up in Michigan, so he was going to drive...
G-Body?
Yes, the G-Body.
Yeah.
He was coming, but he popped a motor.
Oh.
And he's thrashing to get it done, but last I talked to him a couple weeks ago, I think he was like...
Go into debt for drifting.
Yeah, I don't think he
Put
was
on
able
your
to get
credit
everything done together. So,
just buy a great motor from Summit, LS3, throw it in, done.
Yeah, it's pretty cool
That's what I
though,
would
man. I mean, we got you in the Trans Am, me in the Monte Carlo, David in his F100.
Yep.
Zach in his Z28. We got Brian in his Fox body, and then Travis and Kylie Mackey.
Yeah, and their Plymouth.
And their Plymouth.
They're Roadrunners, yeah.
So that's the 7, and then I've got 2 other guys who were supposed to let me know by like this next weekend. So supposedly
That's
there's
cool.
a special new build that one guy's building. He wants to debut it there.
That's sick.
But he didn't give me no more details other than that. He said
keep it a
he's
secret.
like it is exactly what you're looking for, but I don't know if it'll be done, and I'm thrashing to get it done. And so
Also, whoever that is, go into debt.
yeah. Oh
make
my
this
gosh.
happen. Let's make the inaugural. Is that how you say it?
I don't know.
The debut, the first annual.
Apparently, we both suck at English.
I don't know. Everything is French to me. Like I said.
Yeah. It's that New York in you.
Yeah.
that New York where you were born.
I would be Italian, really. My Italian family is in New York.
Oh my gosh.
That's where I get the last name Alfano. From what I'm told. I'm probably the milkman's kid, but
Oh goodness. Where do we go with this now?
I don't know. But yeah, it's gonna be super sick. Can't wait for everyone to. Okay.
Anyway, we'll finish out with man, JJ. You got any thank yous? I love yous. What's the best way to watch your content?
So I'm notoriously bad. Not OnlyFans. Sorry to disappoint. But no, at J.J Alfano, Alfano. I do that a lot, so you're good. That's my Insta. I'm terrible at posting, but that's still the best way to get a hold of me. But yeah, I appreciate everybody. I don't really have any partners. I got some friends that help me out, Michael and Ryan. They're the ones that come to most of my events with me and help me out. So shout out to them. I would not be successful without their help. And obviously, the people that watch my stories, I don't do the vlog on like a YouTube level. I do it like on Instagram. It's kind of like more, I don't know, guerrilla marketing or something, where it's like you gotta watch it. So I have really good percentages of that, which I'm really stoked for. What's funny? More non-car people love my content more than car people.
Huh.
Probably because car people have like seen it a million times.
Right.
The non-car
yeah.
guys who know me,
Saturated.
you know, like jiu-jitsu buddies or like people from high school, to be like, "This is so cool! I'd love to come out and support you." And I'm like, "What? Like, that's sick."
Yeah, we ought to run a theory on this, actually, kind of going a little different direction here. At Fuel Pass, we should park next to each other and just like, we should put up like a couple of lines, like we'll set lines up and just see which direction people go. Do they like the Monte Carlo or they like the Trans Am more?
Yeah.
I think it would be funny. Somebody's film's gonna get hurt though, so.
Well, I mean, so funny. You can edit this out, but so Justin had a set up here and a table, tent, and everything, and he was just people are coming up and talking to him or whatever like that, and I was like, damn, no one's talking to me.
Yeah.
So I put up a sign undercutting his prices, and I got a couple of biters. But man, I tell you what, like, you know, as humbling as it is, like your car like gets more attention than mine, and I'm not used to that. Like, I'm the only one when I go to a drift event, so you know. But I got some stiff competition.
I know. Imagine it's gonna be kind of crazy for us when we get to Summit Point, and it almost becomes normal. You know what I mean? We start becoming normal. Like, what is that?
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, I can't wait. I mean, I always run into issues. Like I ran into boiling fuel the first time. Like we tandem a little bit at LS Fest last year and this year.
Mm-hmm.
But again, it's like one of those things. Like your car. First of all, I don't have a ton of angle. So when I go to like dive or like, you know, do a cool chase, I'm like, I always choke myself up with you. And I'd like to say that's because you're too slow, but that's not the case.
It's too slow.
You know, that thing just swings so wide. So I'm like, I'm gonna dive in, and then I'm like, no, I'm not. And then so I need to get better at that, and just really just like be able to chase someone a little bit better in my car. I'm trying to mess with the angle so that I have a little bit more cushion. I'm like 50 something degrees, so it's not a ton. So it's easy to like get overconfident, you know?
Yeah, we did man, I'm tired now. I don't know where I was going with that. Where are we at?
I'm super excited. We're getting more comfortable doing some laps together. I'm always have bald tires. Every time you like, he got so mad at me. I saw you just roll your eyes. Because you're like, every time I'm like, tires shot.
It's like I'll follow you. No.
I'm like, well, because I throw backy. I try to throw backy every lap. Because I'm like, if someone's riding with me, they don't care if there's a ton of tire smoke or if I'm going kind of slow.
Not gonna know.
They want to hear the rev limiter in their ear, and they want to try to go backwards. And they're so stoked. They don't care if I'm offline or whatever. But when I have someone following me, I can't be as like crazy. And as many times as I would go for a backy and spin out, I didn't want someone following me because I don't really know how to drive more secure.
Yeah.
So, well, I follow you, which is not fair because you never get to follow me. But
because he knows I'm coming for that door.
But he's a good lead driver. So, you know. But the whole point of crisscrossing tandems is to make each other. The lead driver makes the follow driver look good. That's their goal.
Yeah.
You go wide and let them kind of tuck in, get some cool photos, and then you switch.
Yeah, definitely really good at going wide and then just kind of having this like predictable look to myself, you know, because you know it's like, okay, you're not spinning, but you're not going fast either. You know, I do kind of drive slow when I'm in lead just because like most of the guys I run with, they can hit your door and like just leave that much of a mark, and you know, your crowd loves it.
I don't think I've actually marked anybody's door.
Softly.
I've smacked Taylor a bunch in his vet Carlo. And he smacked me a bunch, but we haven't had like the polite boop. It's always been like, oh, I missed a shit. It's like, I popped a tire, or I fuel cut, like, boom.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that is the worst. When your car fuel cuts and it just straightens.
Yeah.
That is the most terrifying thing. You're like, it feels like there's nothing you can do.
It almost is nothing.
I mean, you could grab a whole handful of handbrake, but it's almost you can't react quick enough.
Nope.
But,
yeah. So.
All right, we're at 32 minutes. So, JJ, thank you so much for your time.
Appreciate you.
This was a crazy interview that I'm sure a lot of people are gonna.
This is normal for me. I don't know what you're talking about. This is how everything I do goes. So maybe it's my fault.
And in comparison to the interviews, I feel like most people are like,
yeah, they're all professional. I'm not professional. You get what you get. That's probably why I'm single. But anyways, yeah.
That's why
I'm going to Brazil in November.
That's why he turns up Freebird when he drives, you know.
Hell yeah.
All right, guys. Well, you can come watch and ride and slide with JJ at Summit Point Motorsports Park, hosted by Drift Nirvana, on October 26th and 28th. It's called Friend or Fright. Look it up. It's on my page. It's everywhere. If you want more information, you can reach out to me. Just don't Facebook message JJ. He's a little better on Instagram, actually. I'll admit that. Good night, guys.